Right now, there is something in your life you know you should do, something you have been delaying, avoiding, overthinking. And deep down, you already know why. Fear has been holding the pen, writing your choices for you. But what if today you take it back? What if today you stop running and turn toward it instead? Because on the other side of that fear is not failure, it is expansion, it is growth. It is a version of you that you have not yet met, but are meant to become. Your deepest fear is not a wall, it is a doorway, and the key has always been in your hands. You do not need to wait for fear to disappear to move forward. Walk with it. Let it stay beside you, but do not let it lead you. Let it remind you that you are stepping into something that matters. Let it shape you, strengthen you, transform you. Because the life you are dreaming of does not begin when fear goes away. It begins the moment you decide that fear will no longer control you. It will fuel you.
Now imagine if fear was not something stopping you, but something guiding you. What if it was a quiet compass pointing you exactly where you need to go? The path that scares you the most often leads to the greatest transformation, because growth does not exist in comfort. It exists in challenge, in uncertainty, in those moments where your heart beats faster and your mind tells you to turn back. Every person you admire has stood in that same place, feeling unsure, feeling afraid, feeling small. But they made a different choice. They moved forward anyway, not because fear was gone, but because they refused to let it decide their future. You don't need to eliminate fear. You need to change your relationship with it. Instead of saying, "I am scared, so I will stop," say, "I am scared, so this must matter." Let fear become a signal of importance, a sign that you are standing at the edge of something meaningful. Because every breakthrough you are searching for, confidence, success, purpose, is hidden behind something uncomfortable. Fear is simply standing at the gate, testing whether you are ready to step into the next version of yourself.
There is another truth about fear that most people never pause long enough to understand. It grows in silence, but it weakens in action. The longer you avoid what scares you, the bigger it appears in your mind, like a shadow stretching across your path. But the moment you step toward it, even in the smallest way, that shadow begins to shrink. You realize it was never as powerful as it felt. It was only powerful because you kept giving it distance. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells you to wait, to prepare more, to be perfect before you begin. It sounds reasonable, almost wise. But hidden beneath that voice is hesitation. And hesitation, if left unchecked, slowly turns into regret. There is a quiet pain in knowing you could have tried, but didn't. A weight that sits heavier than failure itself. Because failure teaches, but avoidance only haunts. There is a quiet power in choosing yourself despite fear, in trusting your path even when it is unclear, in taking steps when you cannot see the entire road ahead. Life does not reveal everything at once. It reveals just enough for you to take the next step. And when you take it, the next piece becomes visible. This is how progress unfolds, not in certainty, but in trust. Think of all the versions of you that never got a chance to exist because fear held you back. The conversations you never had, the risks you never took, the dreams you quietly placed aside. Now imagine giving those versions a chance to breathe, to live, to become real. That is what happens when you stop letting fear write your story. And remember, fear is not always loud. Sometimes it is subtle. It shows up as procrastination, as distraction, as choosing comfort over growth. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer than stepping into the unknown. But safety can become a cage if you stay too long. Growth requires movement, and movement requires courage. So when you feel that hesitation again, Do not push it away. Acknowledge it. Feel it. But do not surrender to it. Let it walk beside you, not ahead of you. Let it remind you that you are stepping into something meaningful, something that matters enough to challenge you. Because every time you choose courage over comfort, you rewrite your story. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you believed. And that belief, once it takes root, becomes unstoppable. It spreads into every area of your life, lifting you higher, pushing you further, opening doors you once thought were closed. Your breakthrough is not waiting somewhere in the future. It is being built right now, in the choices you make in the presence of fear, in the moments where you could turn back, but choose to move forward, in the quiet decisions that no one else sees, but that shape everything. So take that step. Even if your voice shakes, speak. Even if your hands tremble, act. Even if your mind is uncertain, move forward anyway. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important. And one day, you will look back at this version of yourself, the one who felt afraid, unsure, hesitant,